Money is a good servant, but a bad master. What if I told you that the way you think about money right now is slowly destroying your life, and you don't even realize it? Most people spend 40 years chasing money, sacrificing their health, relationships, and peace of mind, only to retire broke, burned out, or both. And the scariest part? They did everything they were told to do. Here's the truth nobody talks about. Money is a tool, a powerful one. But the moment you forget that, it stops working for you and starts working against you. Stay with me, because what you're about to hear could completely change how you earn, spend, and live. And if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button. We talk about money, mindset, and building a life you actually own. Section 1. Where does this idea come from? And why does it still hit different today? Let's start at the beginning. The phrase, money is a good servant but a bad master, is often attributed to Francis Bacon, the 16th century English philosopher. But versions of this idea have echoed across cultures for thousands of years, from ancient Rome to the Buddhist texts of Southeast Asia to the writings of American founding fathers. And yet, here we are in 2026, with more financial tools, more wealth creation opportunities, and more money advice than any generation in human history. And people are more financially stressed, more in debt, and more emotionally controlled by money than ever before. So what went wrong? The idea didn't fail us. We stopped applying it. Francis Bacon wasn't just making a poetic observation. He was issuing a warning, and that warning is more relevant today than it was in the 1600s. Because the systems designed to make money your master are more sophisticated, more targeted, and more psychologically powerful than anything Bacon could have imagined. Think about it. Every algorithm on your phone is engineered to make you spend. Every credit card offer in your mailbox is designed to make you borrow. Every buy now, pay later button on your screen is built to make you consume before you can afford to. Every luxury ad you scroll past is crafted to make you feel inadequate until you open your wallet. This isn't accidental. This is an industry worth trillions of dollars, and its entire business model depends on money being your master, not your servant. So the first thing we need to do is understand the battlefield. Because you can't win a war, you don't know you're fighting. The two relationships people have with money. At its core, every single person alive has one of two relationships with money. Let's be honest about which one you have right now. Relationship number 1, money as a servant. In this relationship, money is a tool. You decide where it goes. You decide what it builds. You use it with intention to create security, freedom, experiences, and opportunities. Money responds to your decisions. It works for your goals, your values, and your vision of a good life. People in this relationship still work hard, but they're in control. They sleep well at night. Relationship number 2, money as a master. In this relationship, money calls the shots. You work not because you want to, but because you have to. You spend not because you plan to, but because you felt like you needed to. Every major decision is filtered through the question, can I afford to? And usually, the answer is no. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The majority of Americans are living in relationship number 2. According to a 2024 survey by Bankrate, nearly 57% of Americans cannot cover a $1,000 emergency expense from savings. Not because they don't earn enough, but because the money that comes in has already been spoken for by the master. Why this matters more now than ever. We live in what economists call a consumption economy. Consumer spending accounts for roughly 70% of US GDP. The system is not designed to help you make money your servant. It is designed with brilliant, well-funded, data-driven precision to make money your master. Every time you buy something to feel better, every time you upgrade something that still works fine, every time you finance a lifestyle you can't actually afford, you're not making a free choice. You're responding to programming. And the only way to break that programming is to first see it for what it is. Section 2, the psychology of money, why your brain is wired to make money your master. Here's something most financial advisors won't tell you. Your money problems are not primarily a math problem. They're a psychology problem. If personal finance were just about math, everyone who passed high school algebra would be wealthy. The math is simple. Earn more than you spend, invest the difference, repeat. But humans aren't spreadsheets. 1, the scarcity mindset. when your brain can't think straight about money. Behavioral economists Sendhil Mullainathan and Eldar Shafir discovered something profound. When people feel financially scarce, their cognitive bandwidth literally decreases. When you're stressed about money, your brain is so preoccupied with that problem that it has less mental capacity for everything else. You make worse decisions. You're more impulsive. And here's the cruel irony. The stress of financial scarcity creates the exact mental conditions that make financial scarcity worse. It's a trap. The only way out is to reduce the cognitive load, simplify your finances, create a small financial buffer, and build habits that require less active decision-making. 2. Loss aversion. Why losing $100 hurts twice as much as gaining $100 feels good. Nobel Prize-winning psychologist Daniel Kahneman and Amos Tversky discovered that the psychological pain of losing something is roughly twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining the same thing. Loss aversion is why people hold on to losing investments too long, why subscription services bank on your inertia, and why retailers offer free trials. 3. The hedonic treadmill. Why more money never feels like enough. Have you ever gotten a raise and felt great for about 2 weeks, then gone back to feeling exactly like you did before? That's the hedonic treadmill. You buy the thing, you feel good, you adapt, you want the next thing. This is why people with $50,000 salaries feel poor. People with $150,000 salaries feel middle class, and people with $500,000 salaries feel like they're just getting by. 4. Social comparison, keeping up with the Joneses and their Instagram. Today, your comparison group is the entire world, and it's a curated, filtered highlight reel version of that world. Research consistently shows that social comparison is one of the strongest drivers of consumer spending. Americans spend billions every year on things they don't need, funded by debt they can't afford, to impress people they don't really know. 5. Present bias. Why future you gets robbed every day. Present bias is the tendency to place disproportionately higher value on immediate rewards compared to future ones. Brain imaging studies show that thinking about your future self activates similar neural patterns to thinking about a stranger. The best financial systems remove the need to make active choices in the moment. Automatic savings, auto-investing, pre-commitment devices. Section 3. The 5 traps. How money quietly takes control of your life. Trap number 1. Lifestyle inflation, the silent wealth killer. You get a raise, you upgrade your apartment, you lease a newer car, you eat out more. Every choice feels reasonable, but here's what's actually happening. Your spending is rising as fast as your income, which means your financial position isn't improving at all. This is why you see people earning $150,000 a year living paycheck to paycheck. The antidote, the 50-50 rule for raises. Every time your income increases, 50% goes directly to savings or investments before you ever see it. Only 50% goes to lifestyle improvements. Applied consistently over a career, this is one of the most powerful wealth-building moves available to ordinary people. Trap number 2, the monthly payment mindset, affordability theater. What's the monthly payment? It's one of the most financially dangerous questions you can ask. It reframes the conversation away from total cost and toward immediate feasibility. That $45,000 car with a 7-year loan costs closer to $55,000 with interest. And if instead you invested $700 a month for 7 years at 10% return, you'd have over $80,000. The antidote, total cost. Thinking before any significant purchase, ask, what is the total cost of this decision, including all interest, fees, and opportunity cost? Trap number 3, subscription creep, death by 1,000 small charges. The average American underestimates their monthly subscription spending by $100 to $200 per month. Americans collectively waste over $32 billion per year on unused or underused subscriptions. The antidote, quarterly subscription audit. Every 3 months, pull up your bank and credit card statements. Highlight every recurring charge. Ask, did I use this meaningfully in the last 90 days? And cancel everything that fails that test immediately. Most people free up $150 to $300 per month from this exercise alone. Trap number 4, the emotional spending cycle. When feelings drive financial decisions, emotional spending shows up as retail therapy, stress spending, social spending, celebration spending, and avoidance spending. Research shows that negative emotional states significantly increase impulsive spending, and the temporary relief actually reinforces the behavior, creating a cycle that gets harder to break over time. The antidote, the 24-hour rule plus emotional labeling. When you feel the urge to spend impulsively, name the emotion first. Research shows this reduces its intensity. Then impose a 24-hour waiting period on any non-essential purchase over your threshold. Roughly 70 to 80% of impulse purchases disappear when you give yourself 24 hours. Trap number 5, the identity-money fusion. When what you own becomes who you are. In America, what you own is treated as a signal of who you are. When your identity is fused with what you own, financial setbacks become identity crises. Identity-based spending has no natural limit. Status is always relative. The finish line keeps moving, and the cost keeps rising. The antidote, identity diversification. Deliberately build a sense of self, rooted in skills and expertise, relationships, values and character and experiences, things that can never be taken from you. When your identity doesn't depend on material possessions, financial discipline becomes an expression of who you are. Section 4, the other side, when money becomes your servant. The foundation, clarity before strategy. You cannot make money your servant until you know what you want it to serve. Most people have never actually answered this question clearly. Money is a tool, and like any tool, it works best when it has a specific job to do. The freedom number exercise. Answer these 3 questions. 1. What does financial freedom actually look like for you, specifically? 2. What does that life actually cost per year? 3. What is the gap between where you are now and what that life requires? This gap is your financial mission. When money has a real, specific, personally meaningful purpose, it starts behaving like a servant. The framework, the 3-bucket system. Bucket 1, security, minimum 20% of take-home pay. Emergency fund, retirement contributions, 401k IRA, investments, debt payoff above minimums, savings for major future expenses. This bucket comes first, always. Set up automatic transfers the day your paycheck hits, before you ever see the money. Out of sight, out of mind, building wealth in the background. Bucket 2, life, around 50-60% of take-home pay. Housing, utilities, groceries, transportation, insurance, minimum debt payments, phone. Keep this as lean as possible. Housing and transportation are the biggest levers. Choosing a housing situation $500 a month cheaper saves $6,000 a year. The big expenses are where the big gains are. Bucket 3, freedom, remaining 20 to 30% of take-home pay. Everything discretionary, dining, entertainment, clothing, travel, hobbies, gifts. This is your guilt-free money. Once your security bucket is funded and your life bucket is covered, whatever is left is yours to spend however you want. No tracking required, no guilt. This is what it feels like when money is your servant. The wealth building engine, understanding compound interest scenario. A, invest $500 a month starting at age 25 for just 10 years. Total, $60,000. Stop completely at age 35. By age 65, at 10% AVG return, approximately $1.6 million. Scenario B, wait until age 35. Invest $500 a month for 30 years straight, total $180,000. By age 65 at same return, approximately $1 million. The person who started earlier and invested for only 10 years ended up with $600,000 more, despite investing 3 times less money. The difference? Time. This is why every year you delay investing is extraordinarily expensive. Compound interest is either your most powerful servant or your most relentless master, depending on which side of it you're on. Section 5, the debt question, servant, master, or weapon. The 3 categories of debt. Category 1, wealth-building debt, potential servant. Debt used to acquire assets that appreciate in value or generate income. Fixed-rate mortgages, strategic business loans, student loans with a clear income premium. Key principle. A credible, specific plan for how borrowed money will generate returns exceeding the cost of borrowing. Category 2, neutral to wasteful debt, gray zone. Auto loans and similar financing for depreciating assets. A $15,000 used car loan at 5% for 3 years is very different from a $55,000 new car loan at 8% for 7 years. Both are auto loans. The financial consequences are worlds apart. Category 3, wealth-destroying debt, guaranteed master. High-interest debt funding consumption. Credit cards at 20 to 29%, payday loans, 300 to 400% APR, buy now, pay later. If you carry a $10,000 credit card balance at 24% APR, making only minimum payments, you will pay for over 30 years and pay more than $18,000 in interest alone. That $10,000 in consumption ends up costing $28,000 plus. The Debt Payoff Playbook. Step 1. Stop the bleeding. Eliminate new debt accumulation before paying off existing debt. Put credit cards somewhere inconvenient. Step 2. Build a starter emergency fund of $1,000, $2,000 in cash first, the circuit breaker that prevents the debt payoff journey from becoming an endless loop. Step 3. Choose your method. Avalanche, highest interest rate first, mathematically optimal, or Snowball, smallest balance first, psychologically powerful. Both work. Use the one you'll stick to. Step 4. Find extra money. Sell unused items, do a budget audit, increase income temporarily, redirect 100% of all windfalls to debt. Step 5. Close the loop. Close paid-off accounts. Celebrate meaningfully but inexpensively, and don't look back. Section 6. The Investing Imperative. Why money sitting still is money going backward. Money sitting in a standard checking account is losing purchasing power every single day. Inflation at even 2 to 3% per year means the dollar you have today will buy less next year. Money that isn't growing is shrinking in real terms. You have to invest. The simple, evidence-based investment framework. Step 1. Take every employer match available to you. An employer match is an instant 50-100% return on your money. No investment in the world reliably beats that. Before you do anything else, contribute enough to your 401k to get every dollar of employer match available. Step 2. Build a high-yield emergency fund. Put your emergency fund in a high-yield savings account, earning 4 to 5% at online banks versus 0.01% at traditional banks. On a $15,000 emergency fund, that's roughly $675 a year just for having your money in the right place. Step 3. Max out tax-advantaged accounts. Roth IRA, 2025 limit, $7,000 a year. Contribute after-tax dollars, all growth and withdrawals tax-free in retirement. Traditional IRA 401k, contribute pre-tax dollars, reducing taxable income today. The tax advantages compounded over decades are enormous. Step 4. Invest in low-cost index funds. Research is clear. Over long-time horizons, low-cost index funds outperform the vast majority of actively managed funds. While actively managed funds charge 1 to 2% in annual fees, index funds from Vanguard, Fidelity, or Schwab charge as little as 0.03%. That fee difference over 30 years amounts to hundreds of thousands of dollars. For most investors, a simple 3-fund portfolio is all you need. 1. U.S. Total Stock Market Index Fund. 2. International Stock Market Index Fund. 3. Bond Index Fund. Warren Buffett himself has repeatedly said that for most ordinary investors, a simple S&P 500 index fund is the best investment available. Step 5. Automate and stay the course. The greatest threat to your investment returns is not market volatility. It is your own emotional reaction to market volatility. The S&P 500 has dropped 10% plus in a given year, roughly once every 2 years, and has recovered every single time. Automation removes emotional decision-making from the equation. Section 7. Income. The often neglected side of the equation. Frugality alone has a ceiling. Investing requires surplus capital. Debt payoff is faster with more money coming in. Income is the engine. Everything else is the transmission. And for most Americans, there is significantly more room to increase income than they realize. The 3 income levers. Lever 1. Optimize your primary income. Negotiate every single job offer. Most employers expect negotiation. Ask for raises proactively with a business case, not a personal one. Invest in marketable skills, data analysis, AI literacy, software development, digital marketing, financial analysis, leadership. Be willing to change jobs strategically. External hires typically earn 10 to 20% more than internal promotions for equivalent roles. Lever 2. Build a side income stream. An extra $500 per month is $6,000 a year. Directed toward investing at 10% over 20 years, that's over $340,000 in additional wealth. More importantly, a side income creates options. A job loss becomes an inconvenience, not a crisis. Build it around things you're already skilled at or genuinely interested in. Lever 3. Build assets that generate passive income. dividend-paying investments, real estate, digital products, books, courses, templates, and intellectual property. Assets that generate income while you sleep. Building meaningful passive income takes years, but at some point, the passive income covers your expenses, and your relationship with work fundamentally changes. That is money as servant in its fullest expression. Section 8, the mindset shifts. What people who control money think differently. Mindset shift number 1, from how much does it cost to what does it cost me in time? If you earn $30 per hour after taxes, that $600 jacket doesn't cost $600. It costs 20 hours of your life. Is the jacket worth 20 hours of your finite time on Earth? This reframe makes the abstract concrete. It connects financial decisions to the actual resource being traded. Mindset shift number 2, from I can't afford it to it's not a priority right now. I can't afford it is a statement of victimhood. External circumstances are making your decisions. It's not a priority right now is a statement of agency. You are making a deliberate choice about how to allocate finite resources. This shift moves you from a passive relationship with money to an active one. Mindset shift number 3, from scarcity to abundance. The practical abundance mindset, the belief that your financial situation is improvable through your own actions. People who hold this belief are significantly more likely to invest in their skills, negotiate for higher pay, and take the calculated risks necessary for financial growth. This isn't toxic positivity. It's the evidence-based recognition that within your constraints, your mindset determines the ceiling of your response. Mindset shift number 4, from instant gratification to delayed gratification, but make it meaningful. Delayed gratification only works when the future reward feels more real and more desirable than the present temptation. Make your future real. Write it down. Visualize it. The more vividly you can see the life you're building, the more powerful your ability to defer present gratification in service of it. Mindset shift number 5, from guilt and shame to curiosity and compassion. Financial shame makes people avoid looking at their finances and avoid making changes. Shift from, I'm terrible with money, to, that decision didn't serve me well. What drove it? What would I do differently? Curiosity leads to learning and change. Shame leads to avoidance and repetition. You are not your financial mistakes. Section 9, the relationship between money and happiness. What the science actually says. What the research really shows. In 2023, Kahneman and Killingsworth published a joint paper concluding, for most people, both emotional well-being and life satisfaction do continue to improve with higher income, up to relatively high income levels. Money does buy happiness, but in specific, targeted ways. The happiness ROI, where money buys the most life satisfaction experiences over possessions. Research by Thomas Gilovich and Leif van Boven consistently shows experiences generate more lasting happiness than material goods. Experiences are harder to compare to others, become part of your identity, and connect you with other people. Anticipating a future experience generates happiness in the present. Buying time. A 2017 PNAS study found that spending money to save time, house cleaning, grocery delivery, prepared meals, was associated with significantly greater life satisfaction, even controlling for income level. Spending on others. Spending money on other people consistently generates more happiness than spending the same amount on yourself. This effect was found even in children as young as 2 years old. Investing in relationships. The Harvard study of adult development, ongoing since 1938, found the single strongest predictor of life satisfaction and health in older age is not wealth, not fame, not achievement. It's the quality of your close relationships. The enough point. The enough point is the specific level of financial resources at which your genuine needs and values-aligned wants are fully met, where having more money would not meaningfully improve your life. Our culture has no concept of enough. The result is that people spend their entire lives chasing a finish line that moves faster than they can run. Identifying your enough point is a radical act in a culture that profits from you never feeling like you have enough. Use money precisely for what genuinely serves your life, and then stop. Not more, not less. Enough. Section 10, the integration, the SERVE framework. S, see clearly, financial awareness. Know exactly how much you earn, net, how much you spend by category, what you own, assets, what you owe, liabilities, and your net worth. Within the next 72 hours, sit down and calculate your complete financial picture. It will take 2 hours maximum. It might be uncomfortable. Do it anyway. You cannot navigate without knowing where you are. E. Eliminate what doesn't serve you. Intentional subtraction. For every expense, ask, does this genuinely serve my values, my goals, or my well-being? Or am I spending this out of habit, obligation, social pressure, or emotional avoidance? Conduct a complete spending audit for the last 90 days. Most people who do this seriously find $300 to $600 a month in spending that doesn't pass the test. R. Route automatically. Systems over willpower. Build financial systems that make the right things happen automatically. Willpower is finite and unreliable. Systems aren't. Set up and check off every item below. Direct deposit splits, savings investment accounts funded before checking, auto 401k contributions, at least to the full employer match, maximum automatic Roth IRA or brokerage contributions on payday, automatic extra debt payments above minimums on a fixed schedule, high-yield savings contributions for emergency fund and specific goals, bill autopay for all regular bills to avoid late fees. V. Value. What actually matters? Conscious consumption. Write down your top 5 personal values. Then look at your spending. Is your money flowing toward these values or away from them? Create an intentional spending plan that starts with your values and goals first. Implement the pause practice. For any non-essential purchase over your threshold, stop and ask if its values aligned. Wait 24 to 48 hours if not clearly aligned. E. Expand intentionally. Strategic growth. Every year, ask, what skills can I develop to meaningfully increase my earning potential? Commit to ongoing financial education, books, reputable content, professional advice. Track your net worth quarterly and watch it grow. And as your financial position strengthens, expand the circle of people and causes your money serves, because wealth accumulated purely for personal accumulation eventually feels hollow. Section 11. The people who got this right. Real-world lessons. The Millionaire Next Door. Thomas Stanley and William Danko's landmark research shattered every cultural stereotype about wealth. The typical American millionaire lives in a modest home, drives a used car, buys clothes off the rack, but has built an extraordinary financial position through decades of consistent behavior, spending well below their income, investing the difference, and letting compound interest work. Wealth is not what you display. Wealth is what you keep, grow, and deploy. The person driving the 10-year-old Toyota with a $500,000 investment portfolio has made money their servant far more effectively than the person driving the leased BMW with $50,000 in credit card debt. Warren Buffett's frugality. Warren Buffett is worth over $100 billion. He lives in the same house in Omaha he bought in 1958 for $31,500. He drives his own car. He eats at McDonald's. His lifestyle, by the standards of his wealth, is almost absurdly modest. Why? He has clearly identified what actually makes him happy. Intellectually stimulating work, deep relationships, time to read and think, and spends generously on those things, and almost nothing on the rest. The servant works best when the master is clear about what actually matters. The FIRE movement. Ordinary people, extraordinary results. FIRE, financial independence, retire early, documented thousands of ordinary people, teachers, nurses, software engineers, accountants, who achieved financial independence in their 30s or 40s through high savings rates and consistent investing, not through extraordinary income, not through lucky investments, but through intentional, disciplined application of the principles in this video. The cautionary tale, when money becomes a god. Howard Hughes was one of the wealthiest men in American history. By the end of his life, he was living in darkened hotel rooms, isolated, malnourished, terrified of germs, addicted to prescription drugs, and deeply miserable. His money, which could have served him in almost any imaginable way, had instead become the central obsession of his life. The pursuit of money without a for what is a trap. It's a master that wears the mask of a servant, demanding your time, your health, your relationships, while promising satisfaction it can never deliver. The final framework, 10 rules for keeping money as your servant. Rule 1, know your number. Always know your net worth, monthly cash flow, and freedom number. Clarity is the foundation of control. Rule 2, Pay yourself first, automatically. Before any discretionary spending, savings and investments are already handled. Rule 3. Never let lifestyle rise as fast as income. Apply the 50-50 rule for every raise and windfall. Rule 4. Understand every debt you carry. Interest rate, total cost, payoff date. If you can't answer these, find out today. Rule 5. Invest consistently, simply, and long-term. Low-cost index funds, regular contributions, stay the course through volatility. Rule 6. Spend on experiences, time, and relationships. The categories research most consistently links to lasting well-being. Rule 7. Conduct a quarterly financial audit. Small course corrections taken early prevent large problems later. Rule 8. Continuously develop income-generating skills. Your earning potential is your most valuable financial asset. Rule 9. Define your enough point and honor it. Resist the cultural pressure to keep chasing more. Rule 10. Use money in service of what actually matters. Relationships, health, meaning, growth, contribution. So here's the bottom line. Money is not the enemy. Money is not the goal. Money is a tool, one of the most powerful tools ever created. And like any tool, what it builds depends entirely on who's holding it and what they're building toward. The people who struggle financially aren't struggling because they don't earn enough. They're struggling because no one ever taught them how to direct that tool with intention, clarity, and a vision of what actually matters. You now have that framework, the psychology, the systems, the mindset, the strategies. The only question left is the one only you can answer. Are you going to keep letting money call the shots? Or are you finally going to pick up the tool and build something worth having? The choice is yours, and it starts today. If this video gave you even one insight that changes how you think about money, smash that like button. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need to hear this. And if you're serious about building a real relationship with money, one where you're in control, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss what we put out next. Drop a comment below. I want to know, what's your biggest takeaway from this video? Which of the 5 traps hit closest to home for you? Be honest. This is a judgment-free zone. Share this with someone in your life who needs to hear it. Because the best thing money can ever do is help you take care of the people you love. I'll see you in the next one.